the channel. My name is Wong. Today I'm super excited because we are showcasing an iconic car from Japan. However, it's not from the 90s. It's a little bit more retro than that. It's something that I've always wanted to experience, and this is it, guys. This is a 1988 Honda CRX, and this car is far from its factory form because at the heart it's got a K24 K Series engine along with a host of other performance modifications. This thing is an absolute ride of a car, and I can't wait to see how this car drives. So I'm here with the owner of the car, Luke. How you going, man?
Hey man, how are you?
Good, bro. Can you tell us a little bit about your pride and joy?
This is my 1988 Honda CRX K24 swap. Got a Type R 6-speed gearbox, hybrid racing no-cut shifter with a Honda ECU, and currently 143 kilowatts of front wheels.
Wow, that is immense. You never really see CRXs done up to this standard. So why did you choose to get into the CRX, Luke?
I followed Honda since I worked for them when I was younger.
Oh, no way.
Got into the Kanjo-Zoku scene in Japan and the history that brings. Originally had an EF Civic, which made my love even more, but this CRX came up and I like something that's a bit more unique and rare.
Yeah, as well as that, the CRX had so much racing heritage when it first came out. It was dominating the racetracks, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even in stock form, the power to weight ratio is pretty good.
Yeah. So you've had this car for about
4 years now.
4 years now? Okay,
Yep.
Cool. And you bought it pretty much as is, or?
I bought it pretty much as a rolling shell. So
wow.
It's come a long way, a lot of work.
That's insane. That's really cool. So how does it compare now with the K Series as opposed to the D Series engine?
Oh, it's worlds apart. I mean, 3 times the power, 3 times the fun.
Wow, that's crazy. Do you mind showing us what's under the bonnet there?
Absolutely.
Wow, there she is. That is a really big engine for such a small engine, but hey.
Yeah, there's a bit of customizing. We had to customize the factory sway bar a little bit.
Yeah.
Change engine mounts around, but we managed to squeeze it in there.
Still really cool to see the K24 in a CRX. That's pretty insane, man. So can you tell us a little bit more about the engine here?
Absolutely. So I've got a 70mm skunk tooth throttle body with a 3-inch intake, custom intake, and a 2.5-inch custom exhaust with a K-tuned fuel rail, no power steering and no aircon.
Wow, fully stripped out.
Yeah. Just
raw and visceral. And still really reliable, is that right?
Yeah, so NA reliability I'm a big fan of. Just did a big road trip, just over 4,000 Ks in it, so it was great fun.
Wow, no troubles at all?
Nothing at all, no.
That's
good
awesome.
fun.
It's just a tribute to the Honda reliability, and still, although extensively modified, this is still within the realm of what Honda had engineered, so
yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what you want. That's really cool. Have you got more plans for this car moving forward?
Yeah, in the future, wanting just a little bit more power, maybe another 15-20 kilowatts, looking at stage 2 cams.
That would be insane.
Yeah.
Well, do you have plans to take it out on track as well? I think the overall style and how you've set it up just really screams for it, hey?
Yeah, I mean, my whole idea behind the build, really want to be able to drive something to the track, race it, and then be able to drive it home.
That's awesome, man. I really like what you've done with the overall build and the way you've started up for track and still being really, really clean of a car. And I can't wait to see how this car drives. So thank you again, Luke, for allowing me to showcase it. If you guys are enjoying the content thus far, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And guys, let's get straight into it. All right, guys, we are jumping in the Honda CRX. This thing is going to be a whole lot of fun. And I can't wait to see how it drives, guys. I've always wanted to experience one of these cars. However, this is probably as fun as it gets because it's got a K Series at the heart of it. It is going to be a ride. Setting off, guys. This car has no power steering at all, no aircon. It's essentially as raw as it gets. However, it still has the full interior in this cabin, which makes it feel quite nice and premium. I really like how the interior of this CRX has a digital S2000 cluster. It just elevates the cabin a little bit. And you've also got a Nardi Alcantara steering wheel, as well as these suede touches around the cabin. I really like this era of the ED and the EF because it's a little bit more premium than the Civics that came after it. You just have a lot of nice leather materials and it just looks a bit more upmarket. But as we're cruising, we have the car in 5th gear. It's quite comfortable with these hard race coilovers. We've got the windows up. I can definitely see it being a fun car to just cruise around with. However, this car is not about commuting. It's about having a whole lot of fun. And it's designed to be a go-kart. And that's exactly what Luke has set out to achieve in this Honda CRX. And having a quick look at it, it looks like it means business. And so let's see how it drives, guys. No power steering in this CRX, so it's going to be quite a muscle intensive session. Wow. Instant torque and response down low with this K series engine. Being that it's got the K24 with the 2.4 litres of displacement, just bucket loads of torque down low, and when you step on it, this thing, look at this! Wow! This car is really quite quick. It's definitely a lot faster than my EG, being that this car weighs probably about 50 kilos less than my car, around the 800 kilo mark, and you instantly feel just a sense of lightness in this car. I'm hovering at around 3,000-4,000 and so much force. This car absolutely flies when you're on it. There's so much speed that gets carried through, and if you're ever needing a little bit more power, you just jump on the throttle and straight away there's bucket loads of it. As you're steering in the corners, it feels very planted. You know exactly what this chassis is doing. It really communicates, so you really feel centered in this car. It's got a really short wheelbase, and you literally feel like you're right on top of the road. The roads are a little bit damp, and still, there's a lot of confidence as you're driving this car. You can really push it, and it tells you you're going too fast or you're going too hard. Through the corners, this car is just a dream. There's a little bit of rattles going on, but I think that's what you would expect from a K Swap car, but it doesn't deter from the experience because it's so direct, so precise and accurate, and when you jump on it, it is so bloody quick, guys. It runs out at 7,800 RPM. 143 kilowatts of power at the front wheels, or 200 horsepower just at the front wheels. And in a chassis like this that weighs just over 850 kilos, it is quite a fair bit, to be honest with you guys. It's definitely not the fastest car that I've ever driven, but it's not about the downright speed, it's about how this car handles and communicates to the driver. It is such a visual and engaging experience. It truly resembles that of go-kart. You know, I've driven an EF9 hatch and with the B16 engine, and that car was so much fun in the way that it handled and the power delivery with that B series engine, but this is just dialed up 3 times over. It is so much power, but it doesn't feel difficult to drive, unusable. It definitely still is a very potent package. Wow. I've never experienced a CRX before, and still, going back to the 1980s, this car's from 1988, and still it feels so modern and refined in a way that's still so enjoyable. I just can't believe it, guys. I think Honda has always hit the nail on the head with these cars, and to see how far it can be pushed and the level of potential that can be had in this chassis truly is limitless. You know, the CRX was a hit when it was first released, and in this second generation, it just pushed it even further with the introduction of double wishbone suspension at all 4 corners, coilover suspension, and having a better engine. They just designed this car so well for essentially driving. You could use this car as a daily driver, you could use it as a hill run car, for whatever purpose. The CRX is just such an iconic car. My lord, this thing gets up to speed really quickly. I really like how the K24 engine, there's just an abundance of torque, and you can really just keep pushing this car. And honestly, it doesn't really scare you. also catered around the idea of driving, and I really enjoy it, guys. It's not hard to drive this car. You know, you would think as an engine swapped vehicle it'd be quite difficult to get around with, but no, it's been so well put together in this car that it feels almost factory. Wow. This is a car where I just want to enjoy the experience from behind the steering wheel. If I had to compare this with my K Swap Honda Civic EG with the K20, honestly, it's a really similar experience. The cars both just feel so direct and agile and still such a great handling sports car. You know, it's funny how similar this car is to my EG, down to the way it smells, the vibrations and the sensations from behind the steering wheel. Obviously, apart from the engine being a K24 and this having a little bit more torque down low, my EG has a little bit more up top, being that it's got the K20 and it's just a little bit more rev happy. However, if you had to really compare them, I honestly think there's really not much between them. I think the EG handles a little bit better, being that I've got a bit wider of a tyre setup. This is a little bit more refined and comfortable of a car, being that it's got the full interior as well. It's just so good. I would love to take this car out on the track and to truly enjoy it, because I think that's where this car would shine. But as it is, out here on the street, in the hills, it's so bloody good, guys. And if you put the car over into 6th gear, everything calms down. It's quite sedate. It's not a rough ride. It's still compliant over these roads, and you can definitely utilize it as a car to get around town with. The clutch is light, the gear shifts are easy, and the steering wheel, once you're at speed, is literally effortless. And if you want to have a little bit of fun, just drop a few gears and you're off in this thing. Soundtrack of the K series engine is so good. It's got ITR brakes, so it stops on a dime, although it doesn't have ABS. Something about these Hondas from the early generations are just so raw, visceral and engaging, and in a CRX it's no different. It's starting to rain out here and still so confidence inspiring and not difficult to drive at all. I honestly think the CRX is just such a timeless shape and design, and with what the owner has done to accentuate the lines, the look, and the sheer JDM essence of the CRX, I think it looks absolutely stunning. Luke, you've really built a special car here, and I've had such a blast experiencing it. If you guys enjoyed it, please be sure to smash the thumbs up button in the comments below. Tell me what you like about this K-swapped Honda CRX, and as well as that, consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Please take care. Bye for now.